Let's talk about a simple example of automating processing and filtering of a text file. So it's kind of a very basic task, and you often need it whenever you need to do like a data cleaning, data pre-processing, and naturally you need to iterate on the on the file and several times. So you need to find out what's the best way to format the file, what's the best way to make it kind of get the data that you want, because most of the time the data that you get somewhere is very noisy. So I will show you a general way that I found very effective for doing this kind of iteration. And basically the main principle is that it combines the using of version control and simple Python scripts and the Makefiles. So let's begin with our source data. So our source data, in this case, I'm parsing an OSM map and I'm extracting street names out of it. Basically, the best way I can do that is by grabbing the raw XML file and sorting it and getting unique file names. So very simple operation. Again, you want to probably automate the extraction of your source data as well, as much as you can, whether this is downloading the files from Google Drive, or whether it is getting a curl, some URL. The reason you want to automate this step is because you want your flow to be as reproducible as possible. So somebody takes your repository, your source code, and they don't have to figure out where exactly to get that source file, which version of the file they need to use. So all of that detail, ideally you have it in your configurations, and that makes it your findings extremely reproducible, because a lot of the time it may be required to just do the setup. So whatever you can do to automate the setup, do that. So I do that here with a Makefile. So let's assume we have this this raw file that we want to process more. First thing you might want to ask, like, isn't this already good? Well, in my particular case, what I experienced is that when I extract street names out of a file, there is no straightforward pattern to identify that something is a street. There's a lot of, the data is fairly noisy. Sometimes there are typos, sometimes there are just plain mistakes in the file. So we need to look at the raw file, open it, and we need to visually look at it, and we immediately see that there's some invalid data, and there is some data that maybe shouldn't be here in the first place. So what you can do is effectively create a very basic pipeline that just pipes the output of the file into first script, then second script, then third script, and then finally writes your result as the file that you need. Importantly, what these scripts do is that not only do you save the matches, the lines that match your requirements after filtering, but also the ones that don't match, and you write them in a separate directory. So in that way, because all of this, remember, is in the version control, you get to see things that have changed as you make every change, things that are different as you make every change in the condition of your filters. So if you modify one of those buttons and remove them, and you run the Makefile again, you can immediately see what has changed, and like you can see the extent of the change. So that's extremely useful. And in my case, what I do, I first do the formatting, just a common substitution of abbreviations. Then I remove things that are obviously invalid. Things contain punctuation, contain certain special characters, and I save that. And finally, I do the I have the list of things that are confirmed. Certainly are the names of the streets. basically I save that. And this works surprisingly well, and importantly allows you to iterate on your data as many times as you need, and know exactly at each stage what has changed. And you can run it a lot faster. It's a simple make command, so it will execute the whole set of scripts. Finally, what you might want to do in addition to running these data pipelines is that you may want to validate that your results are actually as expected. And for that, if you have access to like another set of data that similar to the one you are trying to generate, what you can do is you can compare the amount of lines in it, and you find differences, and you find the things that are find things that are same, find things that are different, and in that way you can iterate on it again. So again, create another Makefile and just a simple commands to do that comparison. So extremely useful and very handy for cases when you know you need to combine the manual processing of data with making it automated and making it repeatable. So I hope you find it useful. See you soon.